All right, if you're a CMA candidate, you've definitely run into this classic puzzle, the current ratio versus the quick ratio. They both seem to measure a company's ability to pay its bills, but you know what? One of them can be a little misleading. So when a company's short-term survival is really on the line, which metric tells the real story? Well, let's find out.
Okay, so here's how we're going to break this down. We'll start with the basics, what financial liquidity even is. Then we'll look at the two big players, the current and the quick ratios. After that, we'll uncover a really critical flaw in the current ratio and see how the quick ratio fixes it. Then we'll put them head-to-head in a showdown. And finally, we'll wrap up with the absolute essentials you need for your CMA exam.
First things first, before we can really compare these two ratios, we have to be on the exact same page about the concept they're supposed to measure, and that's financial liquidity. I want you to imagine a company that looks fantastic on paper. Sales are growing, things are expanding, but here's the million-dollar question. Can it actually pay this month's rent? Can it make payroll tomorrow? That, right there, is the entire point of liquidity analysis. It's all about surviving the here and now. So to put it as simply as possible, liquidity is just about how fast a company can turn its assets, its stuff, into cold, hard cash to pay its immediate bills. It has nothing to do with long-term profit. It's about pure, unadulterated, short-term survival. So let's bring in the first character in our little liquidity story, the current ratio. I guarantee if you've ever taken an accounting or finance class, you've met this guy. It is by far the most famous liquidity measure out there. And the formula really couldn't be simpler. You just take all the assets a company thinks it can turn into cash within a year, that's current assets, and you divide it by all the bills it has to pay in that same year, its current liabilities. It's really just a quick snapshot of what you have versus what you owe. Okay, let's look at our example company here. For the current year, its ratio is about 1.95. What that means is for every $1 of debt that's coming due, the company has about $1.95 in current assets to cover it. Now, on the surface, that sounds pretty decent, right? But maybe we shouldn't jump to conclusions just yet.
And this is where things get interesting. See, the current ratio has a big weakness. It treats every single current asset as if it's equally useful for paying this month's bills. But is that really true?
When you actually lift the hood and look at what's inside current assets, you realize it's a real mixed bag. I mean, cash is king, obviously. Marketable securities and accounts receivable are also pretty close to cash. But then you get to these other two, inventories and prepaid expenses. And these are the ones we really have to be careful about. Just think about it for a second. If you need cash today, are you going to be able to sell a whole warehouse full of inventory for what it says on the books? No way. You'd probably have to have a massive fire sale just to move it. And you absolutely cannot pay your suppliers with your prepaid insurance. These assets just aren't as liquid as the others. And that weakness, that flaw in the current ratio, is the exact reason we have a tougher, more skeptical measure. So let's bring on the quick ratio, which is also called the acid test ratio. You know, that name acid test is perfect. It actually comes from the old days when people used acid to test if gold was real. Well, this ratio does the exact same thing for a company's finances. It's a harsh test to see what's really there. It asks the tough question: if sales just stopped cold today, could this company still pay its bills? The calculation is just so simple, but it's incredibly powerful. You just start with your total current assets, and then you surgically remove the two least liquid items, inventories and prepaid expenses. Whatever is left over, those are your quick assets, the stuff you can turn into cash almost immediately. All right, now for the main event, it's showdown time. Let's put the current ratio and the quick ratio right next to each other and see what completely different stories they can tell us about the exact same company. Now check this out, because this is a classic exam-style paradox. If we just look at net working capital, current assets minus current liabilities, it actually went up by $10,000. So the company must be in a better financial spot, right? This is such a common and dangerous assumption to make. When you see the two formulas side by side like this, the difference looks so small. It's just subtracting inventory and prepaids from the top number. It seems like a tiny change on paper, but in the real world, that little adjustment can mean the difference between a company that looks healthy and one that's actually teetering on the edge of a cash crisis. And here it is. This is the reveal. Just look at the trends. Yeah, working capital went up a bit, which looks good, but the current ratio actually went down. And the quick ratio? It absolutely plummeted.
That is a huge red flag. It tells us the company's ability to pay its bills without having to sell inventory has gotten significantly worse.
This quote right here from the source material just sums it up perfectly. The company is actually less liquid today than it was a year ago. It's become more dependent on selling off inventory just to meet its obligations, and that is a much riskier place to be. The current ratio kind of hinted at a problem, but the quick ratio was screaming it from the rooftops. Okay, so what does all of this mean for you when you're sitting in that exam room? Let's lock in the crucial points that the CMA exam is most likely going to test you on. Okay, for the exam, you have got to watch out for these traps. Trap number 1 is the prepaid slip-up. They will try to trick you into only subtracting inventory. Don't fall for it. It's both inventory and prepaids. Trap 2, always be skeptical of a good current ratio. It could just be inflated by a warehouse full of old, obsolete stuff. And trap number 3, the big one we just saw, never ever assume that more working capital automatically means better liquidity. The quick ratio is what tells the real story. So here it is, the bottom line. The one thing you should really etch into your memory. When you need the most conservative, the most reliable, the most honest picture of a company's ability to survive a sudden cash crunch, the quick ratio is your go-to tool. It cuts through all the noise and shows you the reality of the situation. And that's our deep dive into the quick ratio versus the current ratio. Now, you don't just know how to calculate them, you know why one often tells a much truer story than the other. But we'll leave you with this final thought. Even the quick ratio still includes accounts receivable. So as an analyst, what's your next step to investigate whether those receivables are actually collectible? Now, that's something to think about.